The sound of tires screeching woke me that morning. Not from my house, but from the driveway where my eldest son had just returned. He stormed in drunk as usual, with his polo shirt unbuttoned and his face flushed with arrogance. Behind him were 3 girls, barely older than college students, giggling as they stumbled into our home. He shouted for one of the maids to bring them food, even though it was already dawn. I smelled the alcohol on his breath, the sour stench of whiskey mixed with expensive cigars. He bragged to me later, laughing as he recalled how he and his friends sped through EDSA racing luxury cars like it was their private playground. He told me, casually, as though it was nothing, that one of his friends clipped a motorcycle near Ortega. The rider flew off, crashing into the pavement. I asked him what happened to the rider. He shrugged. He's probably dead. But don't worry, Dad. The cops didn't even stop us. They know who I am. He smirked, proud of the chaos he caused. I should have been angry, but I wasn't. That's how we raised him untouchable, entitled, free to do whatever he pleased. He's my son. He inherits not just my name, but my power. Later that day, I received a call from the chief of police. He was nervous, whispering about CCTV footage of the incident that had gone viral online. People were sharing it, tagging my son's name, demanding justice. I told him to relax. Handle it, I said. By evening, the video was gone, scrubbed from social media. The rider's family received a visit from a uniformed officer carrying a thick envelope. They signed papers they didn't understand. By the next day, no one talked about it anymore. Just another Filipino death, buried under the noise of everyday survival. My daughter wasn't any better. She called me from Tagaytay one night, hysterical, saying she had crashed her SUV into a convenience store after a night of drinking. I sent my bodyguards to fetch her. By the time I arrived, the store owner was already silenced, handed a bundle of cash bigger than his yearly income. My daughter sobbed into my chest, pretending she felt guilty. The next week, she was in Boracay with her friends, posting photos of herself on a yacht with the caption, "Blessed life. Blessed indeed by stolen money." Everywhere I went, my family's sins followed me, but they never stuck. That's because money cleans everything. Money makes killers innocent, thieves saints, politicians leaders. At lunch, I met with one of my favorite contractors, a man who specialized in hospital equipment. We sat in a private room at an upscale restaurant in Green Hills, plates of Wagyu beef and imported wine in front of us. He slid a folder across the table and ordered for overpriced ventilators and hospital beds. The actual cost was maybe 50 million pesos, but the budget we submitted was 150 million. We laughed as we signed the papers, pretending we were businessmen making a legitimate deal. In truth, we were thieves dividing stolen loot from sick people. Every time I saw the faces of patients in government hospitals lying on broken beds, waiting for medicines that never arrived, I thought of deals like this, and I felt nothing. That afternoon, I drove to my other condo in order. This one was for another mistress, a flight attendant who had left her job to be with me. She was beautiful, always dressed in designer clothes I bought her. She knew her role: to smile, to keep me entertained, to never ask questions about where the money came from. In return, she lived a life most Filipinos could only dream of. I gave her a new car, a condo, vacations abroad. It was cheaper than love, but while I drank wine in her arms that night, the world outside wasn't as quiet as before. On the news, I saw a report about me-masked protesters gathered in front of City Hall, chanting my name, accusing me of stealing billions. They held up placards with words like Trapo and Magnanica. A young student gave a fiery speech, her voice breaking as she described how floods destroyed her home, how her family suffered because the projects I signed off were useless scams. I watched her face, the fire in her eyes, and for a second, I felt something like unease. But then I laughed. What could she do? What could any of them do? Their chants were drowned out by the music of the clubs, their protests scattered by police in minutes. Still, the noise was growing louder. A journalist had published a piece linking me directly to ghost projects in Pampanga and Quezon City. My face was on the front page of a major paper, accusations flying across social media. My phone buzzed, non-stop with messages from allies. "Boss, We need to fix this. May issue. I called the editor-in-chief of the paper, reminding him of the millions I had given them in advertising. The article disappeared within hours, replaced by a fluff piece about celebrities. I sent a message to the journalist a simple photo of his daughter leaving school. He resigned the next week. The truth is, I don't fear the people. I don't fear journalists, students, priests, or activists. I only fear losing power. Power is the shield that protects me, the cloak that hides my sins. As long as I have it, no one can touch me. And I will do anything to keep it. One night I attended a party at a 5-star hotel in Makati. Senators, governors, mayors, all the big names were there. The chandeliers sparkled, the wine flowed, and the air was thick with laughter and lies. We toasted each other's public service, when in reality, we were celebrating another year of survival, another year of bleeding the people dry. As I looked around the room, I realized something. We were all the same, wolves dressed as shepherds, devouring the flock. But outside those glittering walls, the people were hungry, angry, and restless. Rumors swirled of bigger protests being planned. Anonymous groups online leaked documents and photos of my lavish parties, my children's crimes, hashtags trended overnight, calling for my resignation. For the first time in years, I felt a small crack in my armor. Not fear, not yet, but irritation. The people were louder now, harder to silence. And though I still stood tall, laughing, drinking, living the life of a king, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming. A storm was gathering, and though I had weathered many storms before, this one felt different. For the first time, I wondered, what if the people finally learned how to bite back?